everybody. Welcome back. Let me talk about a couple different things today. One, there's a raid coming up at the end of the week. Today's Monday. Starts, I don't know, Friday, Thursday, something like that. And what I'm using for the raid is the same thing I used last time, which are where are the other two at? Use my strike cruisers. Oh, that's right. Siege Cannon S. Guidance Scrambler 3, Engines 3. That's really the only part that really matters. I'm not switching out to thrusters this time for a couple reasons. One, my shipyard is busy, like everybody else's. Thank you, Kingseye, for not allowing us to build stuff that we think we want to build, and we have a list that lasts a good couple years worth of ships. Okay, off that soapbox. I'm keeping the A on there on the off chance some people on the forums are saying maybe some of these ships will have rockets on them. I don't know. Honestly, I hope they do. I have 34% evade, but I have 87% defense against explosion. If they switch to rockets, I am probably going to make out like a bandit and not have to pay a penny. Sucks for everybody else. So let me show you. The problem is most of y'all are not have that sort of ship. So let me show you. Generally what I do is I go back to my mom's base, my mom's fleet, because that's, I know I've added a lot of people on Facebook from YouTube, and I know what kind of levels they're at, and I know kind of where they're at in the game. And my mom she just turned their level 32. She's a lot more in line with where a lot of people that watch these videos are. So let me go through what we did with her. So what we did was we took, I don't know if you remember her fleet before, but this is basically what she had. She had DU4, Ripper 4, Guidance Scrambler 2, Engines 2, and then some of them had reactive armor 2 maybe, or autoloader 1. So what I want to do is I want to introduce some Siege Cannon S to her fleet. I wanted to up her Guidance Scrambler 3 and get rid of the reactive armor and switch to autoloader if possible. So she has shipyard 1. So actually we refitted all of the ships to some degree, and it's a hodgepodge. They are all, I don't think two of them are alike. So for example, this one, when we went to Guidance Scrambler 3 and switched the reactive armor to autoloader, we overweighted with all rippers, so I switched one of them out to assault cannons just to reduce the weight. I didn't want to switch them all out because that would kind of be a needless refit. The next one, maybe we have actually two of these. The next one is, this was a Thud fleet, and all we really did on this one was a very fast refit. Changed it from Guidance Scrambler 2 to Guidance Scrambler 3. Probably changed it from autoloader 1 to autoloader 2. And that's probably the only thing we changed on this one. So this one went to Guidance Scrambler 3, went to autoloader 2, and then switched out 2 of the Thuds for Siege Cannon. I know there is a range difference. That's fine. She's not going to run these ships on AI. She's going to run them manually, and she's going to see the ranges of the Ripper ships, so she'll know how close she needs to be in for stuff. And she'll know, and I'll tell her, if you don't see purple firing, the siege cannons are not in range. And then another ship that has siege cannons as well, and Guidance Scrambler 3, autoloader 1 that may or may not have already been there, and then we put assault cannons with the siege cannons. So this is probably, actually, let me see, it's probably the most powerful ship. Yeah, but that's going to fire faster. I don't know. Anyway, so between all 5 together, take them all as one big fleet. We have a mix of rippers, assault cannons, siege cannons, thuds, armor. We upped the Guidance Scrambler on all of them to this max. I tried to up the autoloader as much as I could, and but also fit it in the time. We finished them I'd say last week, but we didn't even start them. She was working on. She got the Hammerhead A's a couple raids ago. She didn't really even do the raid last time, except to get I think the 2 low-level cluster reloader thingy-majiggers. But let me think for a second. Yeah, so we spent maybe 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. This was the this one. This was the longest one. This was the second longest. This took like less than a day. This one took, because there's this, and this is all we really changed. So a lot of this, and this is all we changed. So those didn't really take all that long to do. Another thing that's been going on is my base got smashed. It got smashed yesterday. So I found a different design that I like. Or I'm at least try it out. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna try it out. And I didn't. One of the Goliaths was being refitted, so there was only 2 Goliaths, and then this guy, and then I had 2 of the strike cruisers in the old design. And he did what the design had a flaw in. The design flaw was if you use missiles and came in from the north side of the fleet, you could prep a Cerebus. And if you came in from the south side of the base, or the southwest side, where the entrance is, you can prep one there too. So, and that's what he did. He came in with missiles, and he prepped the base, and then he came in with the strike cruisers, and he only took like 30% damage. So, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So I saw a base very similar to this one, in the sector to the right, 218, and some tweaks I did to it was I put this back here. I would like to put it here, but because of the way all this is sort of set up, it really fits a lot better right there. So I'm going to try that there. This one is, I don't know if this is any good or not, but the problem is a ship right here can get prepped. The ship right here I think is safe. So I set it to allow it to move. My theory is it will come up to about here, and then it will actually be useful. And the other guy's base, this ship is actually right here, and he has 5 Goliaths. He has 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, here, and here. I like the fact that the dock is pretty far in. That's kind of cool. And you got to go all the way around to get to it. If I didn't have this, I can actually, what was cool is I could actually take this and reposition, shift some stuff a little bit, and you could almost wrap the rocket launcher in the center all the way around with walls. That was actually kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's neat. And then, but I didn't like how the turrets were, so I moved this one over here. I'm probably going to get rid of one of the flak. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm probably getting rid of one of those. I might get rid of one of the bombards. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. So I'm still playing like everybody does. You get hit, it's the 3 R's of Battle Pirates: is repair, redesign, and retaliate. I repaired, I redesigned, and I don't really have to retaliate because he was retaliating because I tried to take out his base and failed miserably. Did a lot of damage to his base, but I didn't get anything really useful except for his dock. Just because of where he had his dock, it was his own fault. So that's that. Something else that I decided to do was, because of that, he had 4 victory mortars, and the design of the dreads that I had 2 Hailstorm Bs per ship, woefully inadequate, is not going to cut it. So I need to go I need to go a different route. If I'm going to hit any bases that have any VMs, 3 is like the max. And I mean, my own base has 4, and I'm seeing a good number of bases at least 4. So without changing the armor, or without changing the specials, I came up with this design because I was reading something on the forums that pretty much said, those almost no point in having a full fleet of dreads. So changing from here to the right is all I have to do. So it's taking out the shockwaves, which honestly for ranking up, historically I've always taken out the shockwaves and replaced them with something else, like siege missiles or whatever. But everything from here to the left actually stays the same. That doesn't change at all. It's from here to the right that's what's changing. So take out the shockwaves, put in 4 siege mortars, and then 2 hailstorms. Same thing on this fleet, and that gets me to like here. And then the idea here is these serve 2 purposes. One, they're for cargo, so that I can actually carry 4.6 million versus I think what I was carrying before is 2.5, something like that. So 4.6 or 4.4. That's basically a strike cruiser fleet. A strike cruiser I think carries around 4.4 million, which is a decent haul. So the idea is it's for carrying cargo and for carrying extra hailstorm. I put a peacemaker mortar on it because it has a range of 86. Shockwaves has a range of 84. So what will happen is if you just take all 5 of your ships and you target something, this ship is going to be 2, whatever this measurement is, it's going to be 2 marks behind the dread, so that oncoming fire like missiles and stuff like that, the dread's going to get it. Mortar, if they get through, so I have 3 ships with 4 A's and then 2 ships with 4 B's. It's actually a lot more hailstorm than what I had before. Not as much as I would really like, but if I wanted more hailstorm, I actually have to start fiddling with all of this, and switching out the armor would be really expensive and time consuming. Right now I'm only having to change change from here over on just 2 ships is not so bad. Doing this is really not going to take a lot of effort because I already have these floating fortresses. I already have them with the whole Streamline 3. I just have to take the engine off of them and put the hailstorms on them in this peacemaker mortar, because that was my fleet I used to collect cargo. So I'm going to repurpose those, and they can still use to be collect cargo. I can still keep those and then have the other 2 that already exist. The other 2 just don't have any guns on them. What this does is it does a couple of things. One, it increases my amount of hailstorm. It increases my amount of cargo. It increases my damage per building, because before I was at 11,000, now I'm at 13,000. And you could probably ignore some of the smaller numbers because a little bit's going to come from this. Okay, very little is going to come from that. So almost 14,000, but you know how that sort of stuff works out. I'm keeping the high explosive shells 3, so the siege cannons already have a much greater splash than the shockwaves did. So that's actually a lot more powerful than what I had before. So the only thing I'm really going down is I'm going down in armor. So the armor actually stays the same per ship. I just don't have as many ships. If I'm dying for mortar, it wouldn't have mattered, because all of the ships were going to take equal damage anyway. So it'll be the same number of shots if I'm dying by mortar. If I'm dying by ballistics and missiles, I do 2 things. One, these lead because these are the tanks, and then if I need to, like if I'm dealing with the VMs just fine, I can always use the floating fortresses to send ahead and take some of the damage. However, at 2300, they're gonna die pretty fast. They're gonna die pretty fast. So I know that. So that's where we're going with right now. If I just want to be a pain and there's not a lot of VMs, I could just take these 2 ships and just go, mess up somebody's base. That'd be actually kind of fun. So the raid's coming up. you know from last time if you need resources or not. I would assume it's going to be about the same. I know for me, I think I go down slowly with oil. I think oil is my biggest problem. So before Thursday, my plan is to be completely full, so that I can so I don't need to worry about that. I just worry about actually killing stuff. And probably after tomorrow, I probably won't hit any more bases or anything. I tend not to hit people right before a raid. Let them prep too. I kind of don't hit bases during raids too much. Okay, the raid, the base design. Scroll out again. Let me show it to you. So you got this little wiggle. Somebody is saying I need to tweak something up here to make this entrance longer. I have to look into what he's saying. The idea being you have to be all the way up to here before you can start trying to prep this guy out, and by then all the Victor mortars are firing at you, and these two guys will be firing at you. So we'll see. It might be a good design. It might not be. I don't know. We'll find out. So that's about all I know. That pretty much gets you all up to date. Good luck on the raid. I may or may not do a video between now and then. So oh, and I hit level 34. Woo woo! Oh, I'll tell you a funny thing about level 34. One thing I started doing in the last sector, because I was hitting so many bad bases, so many like level 30s and 31s that they didn't have all DU4 towers, or they just sucked. The base just sucked. So what I did was I took my Leviathan fleet, and I don't know if you really remember these guys, but what I had was 2 of them had engines, and there wasn't a lot of hailstorm. So I switched out. I took the engines off of them. A couple of ones that didn't really have any armor, I put some armor on them. That's about it. I think 3 of them I almost didn't touch at all, except for adding like 1 hailstorm to it. So most of them have like 1 hailstorm B. I think 2 of them have 2. So this is my shame fleet. This is the fleet I send out, and if you get destroyed by this and I'm allowed to hit you, shame on you. Just shame on you. So I went out trying to hit a 28 to level up on. I was going to hit the 28, and when I came home I was going to be a 34, and then not that they would have hit me anyway, but they wouldn't even be allowed to hit me. And it's funny because on comms usually when that happens, people are like, oh, that guy's a hacker, oh, how can he hit me, he's not allowed to hit me, blah 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 blah. So I love it when I can actually find that. It took me, I was talking to somebody on the comms, I hit 7 dead bases on 28s before I found one that actually had, it was like not dead. So destroyed that base, came home, became a level 34. So that worked out awesome. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Good luck on the raid. Hope y'all have stuff built for it. I hope they don't add too much explosion for most people's sake. But good luck. Talk to you later. Bye bye.